this is the JDX ladies and gentlemen. I will show you in the next few minutes how does it sound. We have 4 parts, 2 digital part, 1 for drums, and 1 analog part, and you can use it really easily. We have a small groove sequencer, so we can record, you know, real time, or maybe in the step sequencer. It's really easy. I have a 5-year-old kid, and he plays it all day, and he is begging for me to buy this for Christmas, because it's, as I told you, it's really easy to use. Every tweak what you do is recorded in the groove sequencer. So just play the bass. This is the analog part, and I did it like this. Oh. As I told you, it's recorded, so every movement is recorded. And we have more 2 parts, 1 digital and 1 more. You should say that 4 parts is maybe not enough for creating a track, but I can tell you, if 4 track is not enough, then the track is not good. So this is another example we have here. We have traditional old sounds for drums and bass as well. Okay, we have a beautiful vocoder stuff here with this mic. I show you this. And what I really love is that you can record what you play, and after that you just only have to sing. I mean, sing, you know, just talking. Not playing right now, just, you know, singing. Okay, so my plan is to tell you how does an EDM track sounds. You know, EDM is the today's electronic dance music, and how can you build this in this JX-03? So we start with the digital part. Let's call it the big synth part. You have to use the filter thing, you know. And let's use another synth, a bigger one. In this kind of tracks we use very simple drums, you know, for clap and ride together. And I use the analog part for the bass. Okay, here comes a part what we call the build-up. this is EDM with the JX-03. Let's try it again after the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. So going back to the presentation part, guys, switch back. Just have a very quick recap on the features. So it's a small 37 mini keyboard, but with velocity sensitive, bear in mind. We have one analog part, as Peter told, and we have 3 digital synth parts with 128 polyphony. In total, 4 parts. And many sounds in 8, organized in 8 categories with 32 internal drum kits, preset programs, 256 user programs, 16 track sequencer, 3 different modes to record your performance, very, very powerful effect section with 4 DSP, so 2 multi-effects and the dedicated delay plus reverb. Then we have the mic input with the gooseneck you saw, and it comes in the box together with the GDXI, so no additional fee required to pay for that. Built-in vocoder, what Peter was just showing, and bear in mind, USB interface, you don't need any external stuff, any external USB interface to connect to your PC, because it actually very low latency audio ASIO drivers comes with the instrument. But let's recap the 5 main things you need to remember. It's a real analog monophonic synth. Please, this is a very key point. And it's at the same time a digital synth with 128 voice polyphony, 16-step sequencer, arpeggiator, and 256 backing tracks, what you were able to listen some of them during Peter's performance. Vocoder with provided high quality gooseneck mic and the USB interface. So anytime we wake you up at the late night, you can tell us these 5 sentences. Just kidding, of course. So it stands for Design for Fun, because we believe it's maybe the new generation arranger users. That's my personal idea, that maybe the new generation will get in love or get in so personal relationship with this type of instrument for writing EDM music, as we, because I'm much older, as we did in our time when we were kids and getting in love with arrangers to play some nice songs, tunes, using the accompaniment part in the arranger. So let's see and let's discover. I think certainly a new generation, a new approach to singer-songwriters. So let's see the big brother. What is the difference? What are the main benefits and the advantages of the big JDX-A? Here is the Japanese team saying hello to everyone. They are responsible for producing this monster. And as you can see, there is the red PC board for the analog zone, for the analog, part of the GDXA. And again, I think much better to listen to it, because it has a really big opportunities inside, which will be discovered soon by Peter again.
Thank you, Attila. So, as you see, this is the JDXI, and as Attila mentioned you before, we have 4 analog parts and 4 digital parts, which is, open you quite you range of possibilities. Just to understand, so this is one analog part, second one, third, 4, and the 4 digital part. So it can be very wide. You may ask me then if we have a PCM bass, then maybe we could have a piano as well. My answer is yes, we have a piano. So just a short song with some of the sounds. We have a dedicated HPF filter, which is really good because I don't have to switch, all the time the filter LPF to HPF.
Der represents the beast with wrath. Der represents the beast with wrath. Woe to you, O earth, sea, for the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short. Represents the beast.
Thank you very much. Before you continue, I show you the best bass of the world. Okay, we have 8 parts, so I can build the ultimate bass, the bass above all basses. Let's start with an analog sound. It sounds like this. That's good, but not good enough for the best bass of the world. This is the second one, third one. And we switch on the digital parts. We have a really good button here called Unison. You know, Unison uses more one oscillator in more than one time, so it can make it more wide. This is without the Unison, and now with the Unison it sounds really good. So now I will play the best song of the world with the best bass sound of the world. Please.
Move your body, sweet and sexy. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Are you agree that this is the best bass sound of the world?
Yes, everyone agrees. Thank you, Peter. It was really massive sound what we can hear from this GDXA. I hope all of you started move it at also at the live stream side. So without going too much in the details, I would like to recap again the 5 key points you should remember anytime, any place during the night. So please be reminded these things. We have a analog polyphonic, so difference between the GDXI. We have a polyphonic 4-part analog engine, and we have a dedicated digital supernatural sound engine also. Then we have again a 16-step sequencer with an arpeggiator. We have a very high quality vocoder inside, and we have CV gate. I think analog freaks listen to this because you are certainly searching for real dry analog out from the GDXA. It is available. And of course, we have USB interface for audio and MIDI with very low latency. No need for external USB audio interface to connect to your PC or Mac. So the concept of GDXA is to discover new sounds, and I think the ultimate bass sound was a very good example to make really some killer fat analog combined with digital sounds. And just to have an idea what I was mentioning about the dedicated panels for each analog and digital section, check out inside the box. The red panel stands for the analog, and the green one stands for the digital panel. And even if you are really keen about the internal content of the GDXA, search on the YouTube. There is an Australian guy, I think, service guy, sorry. He's reassembling the instruments and showing what type is the DA converter, what memory inside, what components used inside the machine. So very funny to see disassembled music instruments. Of course, he explains where they use these parts, and so he's a real expert on telling us what's inside the box. So these were the GDXI and GDXA. And let's switch to another very, very cool and very sexy, if I may so again, product we have been released recently from 1st of October, which are the Roland boutiques. That's the joint name for these little monsters. What is, again, the story behind the scenes? Many compact synths are available now on the market. I guess you already heard about this category, Yamaha Reface called products. And you can create the concept is basically create your sound anytime, any place, very easily. So there is a certain demand and many people enjoying the hardware synths, as I mentioned before, regarding the GDXA, XI and XA to tweak knobs, use real sliders, not only the mouse with the computer. And of course, it's the design is a crucial thing, fun function and very cool looks. So it's like giving you really many inspiring moments to use these nice instruments. The target customers are a very wide range of we can say hobby players to semi-pro up to the real analog freaks. And remember that many of the old school guys used these instruments in the past, in the 80s, 90s. So they are certainly keen about the quality of the small boutiques. The programming of these small units is the same, completely like on the previous predecessor models, but you can also integrate it in your digital audio workflow, and it's very portable, carry with yourself, no need to take big 5-octave or that type of synth. So the concept is all in one, so quality and expansion are also key elements of these instruments, and of course all they can be hooked to each other and use them as a combination of these three legendary instruments. We have some nice graphics for this, like of course it's book size, so fits very nice on your shelves in your dining room. But let's see some closer look up of the JP-08, and it's pretty much the same elements we can find on the other two models. So of course there are the MIDI in and outs. It runs on 4 AA type batteries, which is very convenient if you are on road or just no power supply available. And it has mini jack audio in and outs, and it's important to mention that we have input as well, so you are able to connect your other source. We have, of course, mini jack phone, socket, and micro USB for connecting to your computer, or even giving power supply, of course, through this micro USB port. Then the layout, as I mentioned, is pretty much the same as on the predecessors. So, of course, in this case, JP-08. And we have all the parameters available in the same way as you can find on the Jupiter. Of course, you have the patch select numbers, which can also be used as the step sequencer steps. And we have a very unique ribbon controller. It's actually a multifunctional ribbon controller. You are able to drive different parameters. And then there is a separate unit. It's important that you can buy this separately, which is actually the basement or the basic keyboard holder for the modules. It has a stand. It has a kind of latch-off switch to make sure that the module will not fall down. And you have 25 mini keyboards, the same type as on the GDX-I. Okay, so we have nice graphics, as you can see, many cool images, and the box is also quite unique. I think it's very nice to put on your shelves in the music shops. Size of a book, and everything is inside the box, of course, with the story of the predecessor models. So it immediately connects you to the history and the legacy of Roland. Images, what I mentioned, very cool, very funny, and I think very good quality. So we will be using this a lot on the web. Already, I think, on many websites uploaded. So have a closer look on the prices. So we have once the JU-06. Who knows which instrument should be this replacing from the past? JU-06, Mr. Garlea probably knows. It's Juno 106, okay. 5 points goes to Mr. Garlea. Then we have the JP-08, which is the Jupiter, as I mentioned. And of course, it's higher price because Jupiter was a very, very expensive instrument. We will show you later on. And we have the JX-03, which stands for the JX-03P. If you remember that instrument, it has a dedicated programmer, PG200. But let's see, the marketing of these boutiques were also quite, let's say, unique, because, of course, Yamaha started to ship reface from September, and Roland started to make a teaser campaign from September 15, just to make sure all the customers have received the information. Roland is also coming up with some funny things. So 2 weeks before the official deadline, debut, October 1st, we were showing these videos, and from October 1st it became available and launched on the Roland.com. First shipment we expect in the middle of November, so 1 month more you need to wait, but it will be soon, and I think it will be a general launch on the European market, so everyone will get at the same moment the instruments. Let me give you kind of a small comparison with Yamaha, just to make sure that we understand what are the benefits of our products. Of course, first the appearance and the sound, what I told you, it's very unique. It's fully recapping the old predecessor models, so completely same layout, completely the sound is really that quality, using this special ACB technology we have, which stands for the Advanced Circuit Behavior Modeling. Then we have a really good quality of chassis, metal chassis, very durable. And of course, be reminded that these classic Roland synths are far more used in the electronic dance music nowadays. So these were the, let's say, milestones or main sounds coming from our SAW. For example, SAW generator was very often used in EDM. So a lot of vast array of knobs and controllers. Then we have this multifunctional ribbon. And of course, we have 3 different types of MIDI instruments, many connectivity possible, MIDI in out, USB, MIDI audio interface, and you are also able to connect external source. And last but not least, we have a great quality available in these products. So let's have a very short view on the predecessor models I mentioned so many times. JP-08 produced between 81 and 84. It was a milestone. First instrument was able to split and layer sound, bear in mind, first. And still the value on the internet is very high, as you see, between 7,000 and 10,000 euros. So some collectors, and very difficult to get, actually, we know, because we don't have it in our museum upstairs, but would like to have, but difficult to find, and costs pretty much. Then we have the JU-06. By the way, this was my first Roland synth as well. I loved it very much. It unique about that was the very stable digital controlled oscillators. So very stable, no movements in the pitch, so very stable, nice pitched sound. Then MIDI became available on a JU-06. And remember, it was 1 year after the release of MIDI, so it's a very first maybe Roland synth equipped with MIDI. So we have the very typical chorus effect inside, and many musicians use that as my first Roland, and still available around 1,000 euro on eBay. And the last JX-03 with the programmer, I mentioned PG200, produced also in the early 80s, and it was, let's say, a kind of preset variation of JU-06. Still possible to get on the eBay. So I think let also please be reminded that this is a limited period. So these boutiques will be not produced for a long time. It's available now for a certain time period, but not a long-term product. It's more like catching now the attention of customers. It's more like impulse buyers who are now really in love with these old stuffs. They will probably look for it. So I think in a couple of months it will be sold out, and that will be the life cycle, no more. Please take into the consideration. Too much speaking. I think Peter will show you much more fun with these small units. Peter.
Yes, thank you. You were really boring, Attila. So I won't show you these instruments one by one. I made a quite long song. My first part of my song is quite oldie stuff. So just to, I want you to hear the original sound of these synthesizers. And the second part of my song is more like 2015. How can we use it nowadays? So please enjoy. If it sounds. Thank you. So this was the past, and now let's see how do they sound in 2015.